a little touch of magic in a world obsessed
Obsessed with
with
science.
science. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Pop Girlies.
Death becomes pop becomes girlies.
Yes.
Whoa.
OMG. This is our first original Broadway cast recording episode.
And if
Yes.
you try to say that Wicked was it, like I have, Drew will yell at you and tell you that you're dumb.
Girl, that's a movie.
I mean, it's a technicality.
It's a technicality it's a musical, but this is original Broadway cast recording.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
And
nuanced.
that means that we'll still have the opportunity to have the first ever revival cast recording
Oh,
Yes.
T, yeah.
and
Yeah.
off Broadway cast recording.
Whoa.
Yes.
West End, if you will.
Whoa.
So
These
there's
are,
just there's
There's
limitless,
endless possibilities.
yeah.
I
unlimited.
will
Great.
say this is probably, I would classify this as the first like theater episode. Because Wicked was so the movie girl.
Okay, but it's a based on musical theater. Like I just don't agree.
Hmm.
Bitch, it's Steven Schwartz. It's Didn't we start with going
Well,
ah?
yeah, but we weren't talking about Miss Adina and Miss Kristen.
I talked about them. I think we had to have talked about them.
I mean,
I mean, it
have
just
we
is
ever
a different
had
girl.
have we ever had like our favorite show conversation on the pod ever?
No, I don't know if we have.
No?
I don't think we
Well,
have.
you only like musicals that start with H,
Correct. That's true.
and I know I think I know your top two.
Okay.
Should I try?
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a go. Let's do this quickly and then we can get to our hot tracks.
I think your number two is Hadestown, and your number one is Hair.
I don't know about number two, but number one is definitely hair.
Is
Yeah.
number two
Definitely for sure.
Hamilton then?
Um,
Or Heather's.
or Heather's. Honestly, I know what my favorite is, and I don't necessarily have like a top two or a top three. Like I have the shows that I like, but hair is my favorite.
But you only
Yeah.
like things that start with H.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically. Hair,
literally.
Heather's, Hamilton, Hadestown.
But you've never seen
Fun.
Hairspray.
I've never seen Hairspray. I've never interacted with Hairspray
That's
media.
so see,
There's another H too, I feel like.
Mm,
probably. I mean, there's a lot of musicals.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
musicals.
There's so many. There's so many.
But those four, I feel like,
I don't
are
even know if I know what your favorite is. Do I know actually, and I'm just being dumb?
my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't think I know what my favorite is.
I don't
So,
think you do because I think if you did, I would know.
yeah, I don't know. There
You
are
know
musicals
mine, don't you?
that I could see like every day for the rest of my life, but I don't know if I'd classify them as my favorite. And then there are shows that like my favorite like performance of a show that I've ever seen, but like I don't know. I don't have like a favorite musical.
You know mine, don't you?
Into the Woods and Out of the Woods.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Right.
concept of going
Oh,
into the woods
Maria,
and out of the
Hello
woods.
Dolly.
No, yeah, I was about to say I think the other H was Hello Dolly, which I've been in.
Same.
Both of you have been in it.
Yeah, Drew and I've been in it. Not the same production,
And we've seen it together
and we've seen it
from
together.
row YY in the mezzanine.
Yeah.
With Miss Betty Buckley.
Yeah, genuinely. Oh, Mary aside, probably second. Well, and Death Becomes Her aside, probably one of the hardest I've ever laughed.
Yeah, it was a legendary theater going
Betty
experience.
Buckley served down.
Well, congrats, Betty, Tony winner. I mean, that's so awesome for you. Okay, should we get into our hot tracks?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to start. And to kind of keep up with this theme, I've kind of, and not even intentionally, but I've kind of been in my musical theater bag the last few days. And
Gee.
I have been listening nonstop to different Sondheim shows. Sondheim is my favorite. Stephen Sondheim is my favorite composer and just kind of writer in general. And he was the composer of my favorite musical of all time, Into the Woods, and a lot of my favorite scores and shows, and I am going to pick one from one of my favorite Sondheim shows and just one of my favorite shows in general, Sunday in the Park with George, which is such a good musical and not an H though, so Maria, you might not like it, but I'm going from the original Broadway cast recording, the song Everybody Loves Louie, sung by Bernadette Peters, who is like my all-time Broadway diva. It's just like musical theater perfection, and it is so good, and that show is so good. So if you like musicals, I would recommend checking it out.
T.
Wow.
I
Done.
mean, that's a classic.
I mean, it's classic comedy.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
Marita.
Marita.
Oh my gosh. Well, again, our all of our cycles are synced because I'm also picking a musical theater song. Um,
Whoa.
uh-huh. And just coincidentally, I literally spent the like entire day listening to show tunes, like preparing for Death Becomes Her, and also like listening to the soundtrack of this show and other shows that I love. But I saw Wicked for Good last week, and I was able to share some of my thoughts with you guys. I texted you guys like immediately after with some gifts and stuff, of course. But I was really excited for Wicked Part Two because Act Two is my favorite act of the show. Like all of
Which
my
is
favorite.
a unpopular opinion, but
Yeah.
I know.
you are
I'm
bravely holding
How
it.
cool are you for
You're
that,
holding
you know?
space for it.
I know. I've seen it, yeah, and I'm extremely aware that I'm in the minority on my opinions. But I love how fast-paced Act Two is, and I like the songs in it the best. And I just love how dramatic and like how dramatic the like tone shift is from Act One to Act Two. And one of my favorite musical theater songs of all time is in Act Two, and it's No Good Deed. And the moment that Cynthia Erivo was announced as Elphaba, I was like, her performance of No Good Deed is going to change the world.
And it has.
It has.
And it has. And I told you guys this, but I think I was talking to Drew about it afterwards, and I think Drew thought that I was joking because I sent a GIF and I sent like a text about like watching the No Good Deed scene like through my tears. But I'm not even kidding because I actually started crying. I literally started crying and it was just like involuntary tears. So I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe this is happening right now. And I didn't think it was too like corny boots, CGI, all of this. And I totally get that perspective because I know that people have been like complaining about it. But I thought what they did with the scene was really spectacular because when you take a practical stage production and translate it into like a musical film, there's so much more that you could do with the storytelling that you're just not able to accomplish on like a practical stage. And I thought it was really cool the way that they did like flashes to other characters and showed Elphaba in like scenarios, like observing herself from the first movie. So I just thought what they did with the visual storytelling of the song in the movie was really great. And obviously, her performance was just like out of this world spectacular. And like I literally was just like I was watching and I was like, I can't believe this is happening. I literally started crying. Oh,
It's so good.
it was so good. I could like talk about it forever, but that's my hot track.
No, it's such a gag.
It's a
Oh,
gag,
it
yeah.
was incredible. I loved it. I mean, I did like the second movie better than the first one, if you can't already tell. Not that I mean, I do have grievances with both of them to an extent, but I all around thought that both movies were like well made, and I think they did the musical justice. So, boop.
Agree.
Well,
This is very
we go
pro
see
Wicked.
Boo.
This is very pro Wicked cast. I mean cast.
Yeah.
Pop Girlies
Podcast.
pro, yeah, pro
Yeah.
Wicked. Um, yeah.
If you're not into Electronomina, get out of here.
For reals.
For reals.
Okay,
Okay,
Drew.
Drew.
Okay, I wasn't originally going to do a musical theater song, but I was listening to a musical theater adjacent song this morning and I thought it would be funny to talk about. So I'm just going to take it from the top. Every like quarter, I send this song to Levi and I'm like, Levi's going to think I'm so fucking crazy. And I did that today.
He did.
So
He did.
there's this movie that like stands the test of time called Theater Camp
Yeah.
that Levi and I saw
Cinematic
together.
classic. Cinematic classic.
Yeah. Um, and I listened to it this morning. It's such a good movie. I think it's on Hulu, so y'all have access, watch it. It is so fucking good, so fucking funny.
It's
It's like
so funny.
Ben
It's like
Platt and his
we were like
posse.
It's great.
screaming, laughing in the theater.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Um, But the end of the show, not to spoil, they do like a huge production at the end, as you would in a theater movie. And there's a song called No Tomorrow from theater camp that is so fucking funny. And I don't want to spoil anything that happens in the song. But basically, this is a recommendation. If you have not seen theater camp and you love the kind of humor and you listen to Death Becomes Her and you love that kind of funny, it's a perfect segue. I mean, like Owen Thiel is in it, who's just gotten popular. He was in Adults. He's so funny in it. I mean, Ben Platt, obviously. Molly Gordon. I mean,
Io's in it.
Io, yes. Io
Yep.
Devery's in it. And she's funny.
Yeah, she is. She is.
She's a comedy queen.
I mean, it's classic comedy.
Classic comedy. So yeah, that's it. And Levi has to endure then me talking about it on the podcast.
Well, the thing is I do think that movie should have won Best Original Song that year.
Yes, Camp Isn't Home should have
Camp
won.
Isn't Home. Wait, Marie, you seen the movie?
Yes.
Camp
Did
Isn't
we
Home
watch
made
it
me
together?
weep.
Yeah, we watched it together. Drew and I.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. At the Palace.
At the
Camp
palace.
isn't home, but is it
It
kind
kind
of?
of,
Like it
kind of
is.
it
I
is.
think it kind
I
of
think it
is.
kind of is.
Like that's like why is that like actually kind of the most profound thing I've ever heard?
It kind
They
of
did
is.
not searchlight your bones for not giving that movie a
Like
proper
that was
song
such an
campaign.
easy original song nom. Because like it wasn't like an end of credit type of like tacked on situation.
Hold my hand.
Literally. I actually
Was that the year of Hold My
yeah,
Hand?
was it when did this movie come out?
I
No, it was
think
the next year.
it
Because
was a couple of years ago,
this movie
yeah.
came out in 2023 and Hold My Hand is
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
such a
I'm
good
just saying because
movie.
Hold My Hand was a like end credits
Right.
movie.
No, no, but
Yeah.
that would have been funny if
If it
Hold
was
My
like
Hand.
competing in the same year and Hold My Hand
Yeah.
took the spot. I mean, Hold My Hand didn't
Um,
take any spot. Hold My Hand was very close to winning, so I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
yeah.
to and it my at the Oscar party because Drew and I were at the same Oscar party that Oscar and my mom and my aunt were visiting
Crying.
and they happened to be there and it was a very anti Top Gun party except for my mom and my aunt who were weeping during Lady Gaga's performance and like furious when it didn't win.
Oh my gosh, that's
And
so
that's
funny.
also okay. Last thing I'm gonna say, and that is really funny presentation. Have you guys ever seen that video? And there's like a funny tweet, and it goes, "Me trying to impress Seal Trade," and it's Janelle Monáe reading the winner, and she just goes, "R R R R R R R R R."
That's so crazy. R R R.
That was a good
Trying
year
to
for
impress
songs.
Seal Trade is so crazy.
There are things being said that have never been said before.
I literally,
No.
I think I might have peed when I heard it for the first time. When I saw that tweet, it's so funny.
R R
Okay, that's all I have to say.
R.
T.
Drew,
Are we ready?
Drew becomes her.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Death Becomes Her, the original Broadway cast recording. So obviously the musical that premiered on Broadway in 2024 is based on the highly iconic 1992 Robert Zemeckis film starring Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, Bruce Willis, Isabella Rossellini. Um, yeah, and so kind of the original conception of this. So in December 2017, they actually did an original development of this musical starring Kristen Chenoweth. She was supposed to be Madeline Ashton, and she ended up going into a different show, which is a huge flop, Queen of Versailles, which is closing in January. So
After
that
like what, a month?
yeah, I think it will have opened like it will have been open like a month and a half or something. So that really sucks for her. But the book is by a new book writer for Broadway named Marco Panett. They have done a lot of like TV writing, but it was their first Broadway credit. And then the music and lyrics are also by new Broadway composers, Julia Madison and Noel Carey. But brilliant writing team for this. So the musical previewed in Chicago at the Cadillac Palace in summer of 2024, which is where myself and both of the Pop Girlies saw. And then it went on to Broadway the same year in the fall. So it opened in 2024. It stars Megan Hilty, Jennifer Samard, Christopher Sieber, and Michelle Williams of Destiny's Child. So yeah, and the show did really well both critically and commercially. It's obviously still running today. And it was nominated for 10 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. And it only actually won for costume design. It was obviously a huge year for Broadway last year. So I think in another year it maybe could have done a little bit better with the wins, but obviously it did really well in nominations. It also just got nominated for a Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album. Um, so yeah, widely praised for sure. I included, in case you all don't know what this show is about, um, I included like the little sentence synopsis that it has on the website. So basically, I'll just read this, and if you want to skip like 20 seconds, go ahead. So it's centers on Madeline Ashton. She's the most beautiful actress, just ask her, ever to grace the stage and screen. Helen Sharp is the long-suffering author, just ask her, who lives in her shadow. They have always been the best of frenemies until Madeline steals Helen's fiance away. As Helen plots revenge and Madeline clings to her rapidly fading star, their world is suddenly turned upside down by Viola Van Horn, a mysterious woman with a secret potion that's to die for. After one sip of Viola's magical potion, Madeline and Helen begin a new era of life and death with their youth and beauty restored and a grudge to last eternity. So obviously we're dealing with like some sci-fi, some fun, some wacky shit going on. Um, but it's beautiful. It's amazing, and it's everything. So, another thing I wanted to kind of highlight for this, before we kind of got into our thoughts, was I feel like this show did a really interesting thing with its social media presence. I feel like a lot of shows to this caliber, it obviously is kind of giving like a more classical Broadway feel in its like how it's set up. I mean, it's obviously like a very theatrical score. It's not very like poppy in a way that a lot of new musicals are. But I feel like it did a really cool thing with their marketing campaign. So specifically, I wanted to talk about before we got into our thoughts, it's TikTok virality. So a lot of these songs have actually made their way onto TikTok and social media, which I thought was really cool. Specifically, the songs "Let's Run Away Together." Specifically the part where Jennifer Samard said, "She stole my life, she made me cuckoo. She's why I spent 4 years locked in that health spa," was like one of the most popular sounds I saw on TikTok. And also the part in the song Hit Me where she says, "That was rude, that was pretty fucking rude," was also a huge sound. And I think that's a lot of why like Jennifer Samard is gotten so popular with like theater audiences. I feel like even when the show first opened, she was kind of seen as someone who is like a little lesser than Megan Hilty out of the two leads. But I feel like the virality of the show really like made it such a two-hander that it obviously is. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. So yeah, that's
Levi
all I really
historian
wanted.
note, the Queen Honey herself did a TikTok to the "that was rude" sound.
Wait, no way.
Yes, she did, and Jennifer Samard reacted to it.
Whoa.
Little Queen Honey history.
Whoa.
So
Crazy.
all roads lead back to Pop Girlies.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's what I wanted. I have obviously like since we all have seen the show together, well, I've seen it with both individual pop girlies, and my mother, and by myself. Um, so I'm more interested because I think we'll have a lot to add with like our experiences seeing the show. So I wanted to put forth a question. And I wanted to kind of make it like a little funny and a little like shocking. So, um, I want you to give the hardest gag that you had while watching the show. And gag in the form of like, it can either be the hardest that you scream laughed or the hardest that you were like, oh, this is gaggy. I'm so gagged, shocked. And then I want you to tell me, and this can just be random and come out of nowhere, but as we're nearing the end of the Hilty Samard run, I know Megan Hilty has already like put in that she's like leaving the show next year. Jennifer Samard will likely leave like in the next year. I want you to give like your dream duo. If you could have any two actresses, they have to be alive. But if you could have any two actresses play the duo, who would you want? Boom.
Oh
Okay,
my
well,
gosh.
you could have given us some advanced warning.
I know, but I felt like it would have
Now
been
a warning.
funnier.
Now, a warning.
Yeah.
Girl.
Like, especially if we're having to come up with make up little scenarios. Well, I can go first. I'm talking. Okay, so the biggest gag
Okay,
was
so and this can be like in your thoughts too. So like you can have
oh,
gone through your thoughts and then if you wanted
okay.
to share.
Well, if we wanted to share, we have to share. The question was asked. Okay, so how do
I'm
you want
not
to do
forcing
this?
you to do anything.
Girl, it's like the SAT.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't get a study guide.
Well, I do we want to just start? Well, do you want Levi, do you want to start with your thoughts, but start with answering the questions and then go into your thoughts?
How
Sure.
about
What do you
this?
think
How
through?
about this? How about this? Let's do the thoughts and include the most gagged that you were, and then at the end we can just like kind of bounce off ideas for each other, like for like a
Great.
minute.
Great.
Okay.
So yeah, perfect.
So who's going?
So Levi, you can go first.
Okay. Okay, so that was the most stressful 45 seconds of my life. Um, yeah, Death Becomes Her. It's a big one. It's a big one. So anybody who knows me probably knows that I am a actually, maybe people who know me don't know this because it really peaked when I was a child. I mean, I still have this same feeling that I'm about to say, but it really was crazy when I was a kid. But I was, and still am, a Meryl Streep fanatic. I was like 10 years old, going to Hollywood Video, like searching for copies of Iron Weed and A Cry in the Dark. Like I was watching Prestige dramas from the early 1980s. I was like weirdly my mom and I watched like a 6 hour long miniseries called Holocaust that she's in for like 40 minutes. Um so I was obsessed. I was really crazy. And so I knew Death Becomes Her from it being a really celebrated Meryl Streep movie. And the movie is hysterical. It is so funny. It is a movie that is definitely ahead of its time. While I was listening to the soundtrack today, because the movie, like, it's definitely more of a cult movie. I think it's aged a lot better than it was received upon release. It was it got like mixed reviews. Uh it like I think made money because the budget was 55 million and then the box office was 149 million. So I definitely I think especially because back then like the marketing costs wouldn't have been that severe. So I definitely think it made money, but it wasn't like a huge gigantic runaway hit. I mean, because especially this was the time where people were really going to the movies. But it has definitely become a cult classic, and I would say it's a very treasured film within gay culture. And so the film is amazing. I've loved the film. And when they announced it was going to become a musical, I actually thought it was a great idea. I'm very much like tired and cynical of constant movie musical adaptations. Like it has gotten to a point where it's like, no, actually, Mrs. Doubtfire did not need to be a musical. Like we actually didn't need to make that happen. And I think that more and more movie to musical adaptations that like really work and actually like bring out the best of the material have become more the exception than the rule. I think the best example of this Hairspray, obviously, but Legally Blonde. Legally Blonde is like an amazing example of taking a really beloved source material and actually like I think improving it in a lot of ways. And it's a story that really works as a musical. I think a lot of people don't understand that like just because a story is compelling doesn't mean that it would work within the constraints of the musical theater form. But Death Becomes Her to me made sense as like a musical, especially because it's like a highly campy movie and like musical theater is inherently a very campy art form. So It obviously did the world premiere in out of town tryout in Chicago. And so I went with Drew to one of the days and I loved it. I loved it. And I was surprised, honestly, by how much I loved it because I had friends who had gone. I know Drew had seen it and he loved it. But then two of my close friends went, I think, on actual opening night. I don't think it was during previews. I think it was actually opening night. And they were not gagging. And so I just didn't really know what to think. And from like 5 minutes in, I was like, okay, this is excellent. I think the show is just so funny. It's so entertaining. I think they do a really great job adapting the material and like turning a three-act film structure into a two-act musical theater structure. And I think the score is really, really good. A big problem I have with current musical theater writing is I think that there is a tendency to kind of go for like a very generic, not super interesting, like pop rock sound. And I love that this is a very Broadway sounding score. I love that like it is not something that like could work on a radio. It's so Broadway and brassy. I love that the lyrics are super character driven and they're very specific to the scenarios that are happening. That was rude. That was really fucking rude. So I don't know what the fuck I was saying because my Zoom decided to just shut down. It just decided to go away. Um, we've had it happen before where like Drew or Maria have dropped out of a call. I've never dropped out of a call, and that is unfortunate because I'm the host and I'm the one recording. So the first half of the recording was saved, but I don't know what I was saying. And we were like, should we debate? Like we were debating acknowledging that something happened, but like I think I might have been in the middle of a syllable.
Yeah,
Like
you definitely were.
I don't know what I was doing. So I'm sorry if the continuity of my thought is not very smooth. I know I was talking about how I really like that this score is very much like a musical theater score, that the lyrics are very character driven and very specific to the scenarios in which the characters are in. I think that it's really clever. The lyrics are so funny. I think that there are a lot of musical comedies that are made that aren't funny, that are like, are kind of amusing. This is genuinely hysterical. And I think they make genuinely clever decisions on how to adapt the source material to working within the context of a musical. And to me, the best example is it's technically not the opening number, but it feels like the opening number. And going into the musical when I saw it for the first time, I so badly wanted them to do the opening number from the film because Meryl performs this like fabulous opening number where she goes, I see me, I see
Asking me.
actress, woman, star, and lover. Oh my gosh, should that be my bio on Instagram? That would be so funny.
Oh my God, that's so
Actress, woman, star, and
Actress, woman,
lover.
star, and lover.
funny.
That's so funny.
And it's
Um,
got some of that Swifty in there too.
what is that?
Lover.
Oh, lover.
Lover.
Lover. Yeah, actress, woman, star, and lover.
Lover.
Um,
Lover.
But I was like, that has to be the opening. And Drew kept being like, it's not, but I promise you, it's as good. It's as good. It's as good. And so I was sitting there pissed, and Michelle Williams comes out, does her little thing, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then it's like, okay, it's gonna be time for fucking I See Me, except that's not happening. But oh my God. Like the second that this number happened, I was like, okay, I'm in like good hands. I'm in hands that know the material that they're adapting. They know the audience that they're writing for. I think this show, kind of what you said, Drew, about social media, I think that happens because this show knows exactly who this show is for. Like the
Yeah.
creative team behind Death Becomes Her, the producing team behind Death Becomes Her know exactly the kind of gay people who are foaming at the mouth for a musical that is like this, that is zany and campy and fabulous. And Madeline Ashton's first song for the gays. That's my pick for biggest gag. Because I truly like there are other moments obviously where I was gagged, but I could not. It's the only time I've ever wanted to like stand up and applaud like 5 minutes into a show. It is truly jaw dropping. If for those of you who don't know, you can like watch this performance. She performed it on Jimmy Fallon, and didn't
The
she also win Tony
Tonys,
Awards?
yeah.
It she starts kind of talking about how everything she does is for the gays, meaning like people looking at her, but then it obviously becomes like for the gays, meaning like gay men, gay people, I think in general, but like she's the kind of like older, like middle-aged diva that like gay
Yeah.
men
Well, and
historically
all her
love.
dancers in it are gay men.
They're all gay men.
Yeah.
And then she spends like the second half of the number just like doing these insane quick changes to become like gay diva icons. And so she becomes, is Liza the first one?
Yes.
She becomes Liza. She has this red jacket on and that little pixie cut. And then she's gone for a while. And they do a really clever thing where when she's doing her next change, they have like a dancer in that
Danced.
same outfit, a dance double, and like the back is to the audience. And so it looks like Liza's just really into the choreo. And then she comes out in that iconic Victoria, Julie Andrews like headdress, like tassel thing. And then there is a last minute gag where she becomes Dorothy. And like she like takes that off and she's Dorothy and they like throw her Toto at the very last chord. And it is
It's
true.
beyond.
It's
It's like musical theater magic.
there's nothing like being in a theater, not knowing what's coming
No,
and
not
seeing
knowing.
that.
No. And it's like if you haven't seen it, you're gonna see it now. Like obviously you will know because we just told you. But like the
If you
experience.
have plans to see it, I wish I could have
Yeah, you should have
given
said that at the
spoiler,
beginning. Yeah,
but
because
like
you can't give
whatever.
a spoiler alert after I gave one. That would
Ooh,
But like, come on. Like if you haven't seen anything about this and you're listening to this podcast, like you did yourself dirty.
it just was such an incredible experience and it got me at such a high and I was just able to like ride that high the entire time. It's such a phenomenal mood setter and even though it technically isn't the opening number, I really do feel like that Michelle Williams number is a little bit more of a prelude
Yeah.
because it's also kind of like it's not really starting the story. The story really starts with For the Gays.
Yeah.
And it's just the perfect launching pad for a score that is very, very funny. I think it is very clever. I think it's very sharp. I think that there are moments where I think the melodies are super, super sticky, and I get certain melodic lines stuck in my head constantly. I mean, the biggest one for me is "Tell me, Ernest, how's Helen in the sack? Just curious." I mean, that is like always kind of playing on a constant loop. I do think that there are moments where the melodies kind of lose me, and I think that the lyrics are doing more heavy lifting. I don't think there's really a song for me where the lyrics falter. I think the lyrics are always kind of doing what they need to be doing. I think musically, especially in Act Two, I am sometimes just a little lost. And I think that that still works in a theater setting when you're watching something. I think I like didn't really have any problems, even if I knew like, okay, this isn't maybe like an earworm the way that other songs are. But that wasn't an issue because I was watching the story unfold. The
Yeah.
production is so engaging, the performances are so engaging, and there's such a spectacle to the show. I mean, beyond the incredible costume, Tony-winning costumes, and the set design's really cool, and there's also all these like really amazing special effects. But just listening to it isolated in a recording, there were moments again, especially in Act Two, where I just feel a little lost because I don't really have any melody to cling to. And I've listened to the recording a number of times. I've seen the show, and there are still songs that, like, if you just like pointed at the title, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I could sing this back to you. And I think that the requirements and maybe expectations for like really hummable melodies is a bit different from like pop music versus musical theater writing. I definitely think that there are hooks and like amazing melodies in musical theater, but it is different than the kind of hooks that you expect in like a Max Martin written pop song. So all in all, I think that Death Becomes Her so fun. I think that there are some real like just classic musical theater moments on here. And We're waiting to talk about casting.
You can say it.
I mean, Sherry Renee Scott needs to be Madeline Ashton. Like Sherry Renee Scott, for those of you who don't
Well,
know,
now she's free.
she's free because she's free from the
Queen
Queen
of
of Versailles
Versailles.
prison. Uh, Sherry Renee Scott, my number two Broadway diva, needs to be Madeline Ashton. And I know I say this every time. I'm always like, I would go to New York. I actually do think I would go to New York to see it. Considering but I didn't go see her in Little Shop, but I was going
No,
through stuff. But she never works. She loves to be unemployed, but she would be so,
genius.
so good. I'm a little like more unsure on who like the Helen should be.
I have a good Helen for Sherry.
Would you want to say it now?
Yeah, SJB.
Oh, she would be so good. And I kind of think she would do it because she does
She
perform.
would so do it.
That would be a really good combo.
Yes.
Okay, I'm totally into that. Sherry Renee doing For the Gays would kill me. And for those of you who don't know Sherry Renee Scott is like one of the funniest performers that you could see, but her comedic timing is so like off kilter. It's so not what you would expect. She never goes for an obvious joke or punchline. Her line deliveries are always so funny, but it's never like in a way that like a normal person would be reading a line and be like, "Oh, you should say it this way to make it funny." I know she would do it in such a different way than Megan Hilty would, and her voice is very different than Megan Hilty. So yeah, I would love to see her come in. But oh,
Yeah.
and just real quick, I mean the performances here are top notch. I think that this is the best part of Michelle Williams' performance because I thought that she's at her best when she's singing. I think that she, is a little bit more unsure of herself in the book scenes, but she obviously has an incredible voice. Uh, Christopher Sieber is really, really fun as Ernest, but the two stars are Megan Hilty and Jennifer Samard, and they just both absolutely knock it out of the park. And I think that they do a really, really good job at differentiating themselves from the icons that they're inheriting these roles from. I think Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn are big shoes to fill. And I think, especially considering both of those performances are like pretty iconic, I think it would be really easy just to like imitate and kind of
Yeah.
duplicate what they're doing in the movie. But I think that their characterizations, especially Jennifer Samard's, are completely different.
Yeah.
Even Megan Hill, too, I think is playing in maybe a more similar key to Meryl, is doing it in a very, very different way.
Oh yeah,
And so
totally.
I think that that was the right choice, obviously. And I think to make that choice work, you really need performers who are distinct and who are interesting and who can make those, really fun choices. And there just could not have been two better people. I mean, out of who is currently in musical theater, I think these two are easily the best. I will say, in terms of casting, these two are still alive. They wouldn't be age appropriate to do it. I do would kill to see a world where this is Bernadette and Patty. I think that would be, and the thing is, I think both of them could do either part.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Like, I think you could do
Patty
it,
though for the gays.
but a Bernadette for the gays, ho. I mean, you're a Patty ho, and I'm a Bernadette ho. So, like, don't even.
Maria's like, I feel very attacked right now for not being a theater queen.
I'm like, I don't know these divas like you guys do, so
Do you have a favorite Broadway diva?
no. I don't know the girls like that. You know what I mean? Like for me, and I'll get into this I think when I share my thoughts, but like I am completely in my own musical theater bubble when it comes to how I interact with musical theater.
Well, I'm
Like
done. So, do you want to start?
Yeah, Maria.
sure. Sure, well, I'll start. So I am in my own, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I just feel like I have like a very isolated relationship with musical theater because it's like even when I was growing up and I was doing musical theater, like I grew up doing a summer music theater program from when I was 11 through I think when I was like through 14. And then when I got to high school, and there was like a bit of, no, of an overlap with that summer theater program, but once I got into high school and there was finally like the plays and the musicals, then I like was participating in every show, whether it was on stage or backstage. So like so much of my life was like participating in musical theater, and always enjoying the shows that I was a part of. But when it came to like actually knowing like the who's who of like big theater people and Broadway people, and just like having a sort of like general knowledge about like a whole lot of shows and like really like influential people who are like foundational core pillars of the craft of musical theater. I just have like no real knowledge of. Like a little bit oblivious to like I think the core like again, just like the foundational pillars of like things that musical theater kids know. I just like don't know. You know what I mean? But like we said before, like I have shows that I love. Like I'm just kind of like in my own bubble where I like what I like and I haven't really like expanded my knowledge beyond it. Um, but we were talking earlier, like when Drew asked me if I wanted to go and see Death Becomes Her, when it was doing the previews here in Chicago, it was like a super last minute invite. Like it was kind of spur of the moment. Like I think you asked me like 3 or 4 hours before a curtain call, like, do you want to go? And it was just like very spur of the moment. And I was so glad that you asked me because I don't think it even might have been on my radar at all. And if it had been, I maybe was like a little bit eye roll at like, oh my gosh, I feel like sometimes I tend to think like a musical that's based off of a movie is like going to be like cheesy corny. And I'm usually always proven wrong because some of like the most biggest musicals ever are like based on source material or based on an existing film. So that's just kind of like my, like obstacle in my own brain is like thinking it's always going to be cheesy and corny. Um, but Death Becomes Her is an amazing movie. I've only seen it once, and Drew, I think, well, I can't remember if one of my first time watching it was also your first time watching it, but we watched it together, like over Zoom during COVID.
Yes, yeah, that was my first time, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had such a fun time watching it. And this was honestly, I feel like one of the movies where like my main motivator to watch the movie was that as soon as we hit finish, I could go and watch the movie Bitches review of it. Because I feel like this is also just like one of their core like reviews, but also just like genre films, like anything camp. They would always call summer, like they would do like a series every summer that they would call summer camp, and they would only review camp movies during the summertime, which is like
Which we
amazing.
have to say, RIP to the
Yeah.
legend,
No, yeah,
April.
absolutely.
Yeah,
R.I.P. Avril. She recently passed away after a battle with breast cancer, and it's just like so
so
heart-shattering.
devastating. Yeah,
Like literally one of the greatest minds that's like an encyclopedia for any niche pop culture reference ever. Like that was just her brain. It was so amazing to watch their reviews and the way that she edited their videos because so many of our little like one-liner inside jokes are like random obscure things that she would edit into their reviews. And like her mind was just so fascinating and it's just like such a devastating loss. So
yeah.
R.I.P.
I'm
Avril.
so glad you mentioned them because this is so like in their
Yeah,
world.
this
Yeah,
is so movie bitches. Like to me, like the Death Becomes Her musical is like tied to movie bitches. So it's just like, oh, so yeah. But Andrew has like still been active on like all of their accounts and stuff. And he's also just like such a treasure too. So thinking of him and R.I.P. April. But yeah, I had such an amazing time when we saw the show. I wasn't sure. I didn't think I had like any like expectations at all. Like I knew obviously knew the show, but I didn't know what I was expecting when it came to how like different the performances were going to be, like how you just touched upon Levi, and all of that. But I had a great time. I think the show's hilarious. And yeah, so unexpected. I mean, like for the gays being like within the first 5 minutes was like absolutely gaggy. The show or the like the music is great, and I think all of the vocal performances are like so stunning. And it's so funny too because like these two characters are so at odds with each other the whole movie, and their voices are so powerful. So sometimes listening to the studio recordings is like an absolute like war going on in your ears because they are like absolutely scream shouting at each other and it's just like absolutely absurd. And so many of these songs are really, really fast paced because it's like quip after quip after quip and like everything just happens like very, very fast. Um, but the set design of the show I also thought was cool and like the whole ensemble cast almost the whole time was wearing these like copycat Mugler bodysuits. And that like we've already talked about on the show I think at least once, but like my probably biggest gag moment, which I was like absolutely laughing so hard in the theater and I was the only person laughing, is when I think it's when Madeline goes to the like to get the
Viola's
potion.
for the first
Yes,
time.
for the first
Yes.
time. And then the like main like assistant guy opens the door and he's just in this like absolutely glamorous bodice. And it was just like in like the most absurd outfit and it was just so funny to me because it's like the first time you're like entering that world of like these magical immortal people who are all taking this potion or whatever. So it's like this first glimpse of like the magic of the show. And it's just like so funny. I thought it was hilarious.
Well, I think it's funny because I think that moment was directed to get a laugh. Like, I genuinely think, because they mean he opens the door so slowly and kind of walks out. And in the scene before, he's wearing just like a waiter outfit, and then you see him in this like glamorous like dress.
Yeah.
But for some reason, at the show that we went to, Maria just like lets out the biggest laugh of all time, and no one else, like, everyone's like, okay.
Like it really tickled me. It was so funny. But and so as aforementioned, I don't have all of this like musical theater knowledge to like actually present two musical theater divas that I think could embody the roles. So I'll give kind of a jokey answer, and I'm not sure either one could embody the vocal prowess of that's required of either role. But I feel like if I'm to pick two divas that are at odds with each other for eternity in my life, I'm gonna have to go with Queen Honey Madonna and Mother Monster Lady Gaga.
Whoa.
And I think I would have to say Madonna is Madeline and Gaga is
Yeah, that's
Helen.
that's what I think as
Yeah.
well.
yeah.
I don't even
Because
know what a Madonna for the gays would be like.
Oh my God, it would be so good.
Imagine her
like
doing the cone bra. Like she would like change the costume and she like does like a cone the cone bra.
And then at the big reveal at Helen's book signing, Gaga comes out in a cone bra.
Her cone bra.
yes. Or
I'm getting
she comes
it.
out and it's a meat dress. Like, I think that concept would be
Yeah.
because I feel like everyone kind of like has some sort of awareness of like, oh, like, these two are kind of at odds with each other.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
That's
feel
a
like it
great
could work.
answer.
I think playing on that would be really interesting. Like that's kind of I mean again, this would never happen, but like the Bernadette Patty thing, because like those are two divas that there's never been like an explicit feud between them, but they just kind of like were the two big oh excuse me the two biggest Broadway divas of the 80s, and so they were just naturally pitted against each other. So I think that would be interesting to like see them.
So good.
I also thought of another one. I think that considering that Kristen Chenoweth was the original um Madeline in the workshop, I think her and Adina would be really, really
That
cool.
would be so funny.
Because again, like the duo aspect, I think it would I love casting that like plays on like actual dynamics and whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
T.
See. Well, yeah, I think that's all of my thoughts.
Okay. Thank you, Maria.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of give my thoughts as well. So, kind of going off of what everyone already said, I love just a good musical, and then I also just love a good comedy. But I find that like musical comedies, kind of what Levi was saying earlier, sometimes when they're trying to be too funny, I feel like they do fall a bit short, with trying to be actually hysterical and hilarious. Um, However, this is one of the rarest moments where I literally laughed probably every single scene from start to finish. I think the writers of this specifically the book writer, I think put it together in a way that did pay homage to the original movie in what you would want from it. Like, for example, Levi said, you know, how he wanted the whole I See Me opening number, which obviously we didn't get because we got For the Gays, but there is an homage to that song later in the first act. She sings that song, which just ends up being a funny like moment. Um, so yeah, it's so cool because it gives you everything. All of the one-liners that you want from the movie come in different ways, which I think is so clever. But I mean, there's no like costume overlap. The set is a completely different vibe than what the movie gives, but it somehow still gives that mystical kind of eternal aura that I think made the movie so vibey and cool, which I think is really great. So yeah, I would go as far to say it is probably my favorite movie to musical adaptation that I've ever seen. I
Whoa.
yeah,
And Moulin Rouge exists.
I know. I would say this is I like it better.
That actually doesn't surprise me, but like everyone and their mother knows how much you're gagging for Moulin Rouge.
I mean I gag from Moulin Rouge, Moulin gag, but this is just like
But this
because
is
it
Smash
Moulin
Becomes
Rouge, there
Hit.
are moments where it doesn't like there are moments I think in the book where I'm like, okay, like this book moment is a little cheesy, corny. This I every book scene was so strong for me um in ways that other movie musical adaptations were not. Like it is a travesty to me that this musical lost a book category at the Tonys because adaptations are so hard, they're so rare, but then also like adding the jokes that I laughed the hardest at were not jokes that appeared anywhere in the movie material. It was all brand new jokes. It was all funny things. And it was all like references to now too, which I think was a great call for them to do that. And in a way where they're not like on their phones or something stupid, but there was a lot of like of that I thought was just really smart. So um yeah. And another thing that I really like about it that I think makes the show so strong and so popular was I know how we were talking. I mean, I mentioned how Kristen Chenoweth was, you know, doing the initial workshops for it. The score to me, it doesn't sound like it was written for one specific or two specific people. And it feels like they really like went to find just two really strong theater actresses to play the lead parts. And I think that's where a lot of things are lacking, specifically with adaptations. I think they try to go for like a certain star to also be in it, which I don't think works out very well. I think um finding just like really strong theater actresses to play these parts was the correct way to go because they're so brilliant. So, um, yeah. And the last thing I want to say that I mean Megan Hilty in this, I mean Levi and I are famously like Team Karen in Smash. However, Megan
Team
Hilty in
Karen,
this,
not Team
not Catherine McPhee
Catherine
Republican.
McPhee,
Yeah,
MAGA.
yeah,
Karen, though, Karen voted for Kamala,
yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, for sure.
obviously.
Yeah. Um, but Megan Hilty in this turned me out so hard. So this whole, you know, drama with the top five, the Nicole Scherzinger win for the Tony. I have to say, I saw all five of those women, and I would have, it was a no-brainer for me that Megan Hilty should have won the Tony. I,
Wait, you saw Boop?
yeah, I saw Boop in Chicago.
Oh, that's right. You saw the preview,
Yeah,
the Boop view.
Boop view. Um,
That was rotted.
so I have to say, it that to me, she plays it in a way, and I don't know if this is gonna make any sense. She almost plays it as if she's like a mom in on a joke. Like there's a lot of lines, like specifically in For the Gays, where she like reveals to a costume and then she says like legs for days, and it's like saying things that she like doesn't really know what she's saying. Does that make sense? Like she
Yeah.
almost plays it as if she's like a gay child's mom, like saying like, "Oh, I know what this means, but like I actually have no context to what this word means." I feel like she does a lot of lines in that kind of way. And it makes it so funny to me. Like there are so many moments on this and in the scenes too where she says things like that that I just think she's so genius for it. I truly would not have chosen anyone else to do it. Um and then, so the whole when I first saw the show, I was when and it obviously you see for the gays, you see the whole scenes, whatever. And I was a little nervous going into the first half because it starts off so strong and so Megan heavy. I was a little nervous that it was going to be just like the Megan Hilty kind of show. But then Jennifer Samard has her big uh, like um like she goes from the mental institution to being beautiful after she takes the potion. And she like commands the stage almost just as good. And so my gaggiest moment is actually the scene where they're at the book signing and she makes the craziest like cum joke of all time and then swigs Christopher Siebert's drink and spits it out at him. That is probably the hardest I have laughed in a theater ever. Um, so yeah, that's my
And the
tea.
thing is, you talk about it a lot.
Oh, I mean, and I'm gonna talk about it later because it's gonna be in my top three.
Oh,
Well, yes.
spoiler.
No, I could not believe it. So, okay, and speaking of that, let's get into our me's and our holy trinities. Um, let's do me's first.
Our
Okay,
least faves.
so me,
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
me, my me's me.
See me.
So this one was so easy. I like actually did not like it at all. I hate Live to Serve.
Oh,
Um, I don't know why the fuck it's there because it doesn't sound like anything else in the score. I think it's a little too like late in the show to have like just kind of like a zany moment that is like a joke and doesn't really do anything. I don't like numbers like this. Like this is not my taste because I'm a believer that good musical theater writing, like every song should contribute to the story. And like, I just don't really think this does. I also didn't like Stefan's Turn. And those are the two songs that I didn't see because they were added right
yeah.
during everything else I saw.
Yeah, I mean they changed some verses. Like Siempre Viva, the song is very different now. Like it's a completely different chorus on the recording.
But
But
I
same.
saw a version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Live to Serve just didn't do anything for me. I'm so sorry to my Live to Serve warriors out there. If my co-hosts are one of them, I apologize, but it just didn't do anything for me. And
Wow.
I just I just don't think it belongs with the other girls. I don't.
That's fair.
That's what I got for you.
Okay, Maria.
Yes. Well, I I tried to pick songs that, or like for like my top three and my me, I tried to pick songs that like, I tried to avoid just like interlude tracks because it's like, this is like kind of here nor there. Like I tried to choose songs that weren't obvious, like just connective tissue, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just me, you know? But I really was not a fan, and not that I like strongly disliked it, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the like melody throughout the musical, which kind of represented Viola and the like magic potion. Like I wasn't a huge fan of the down 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 down. Like that was like a little bit too sharp in my ears, and I feel like Michelle Williams' voice is like very it's like that very kind of sharp brassiness. And
Hmm.
I mean, she did great, but I also wasn't like absolutely loving the like the melodic theme of that part of the story because it was also like so present in the show. But with that being said, my least favorite is I think going to be If You Want Perfection, because I think that song, if they wanted to like slip that information to the audience that like it, if you haven't seen the movie, that like, oh, by the way, like just so that you know, there's also this like secret society of immortal people, and it's gonna come up later. I think that song was way too long for the very start of the show to introduce that information, and I feel like it probably could have just been like doubled up in like the Siempre Viva song, you know? And I just think that song was like a little bit too long. It could have been like another just like 1 minute connective tissue thing of like, okay, here's just like a little inkling that this is gonna happen. But I was like, I don't know if the song needs to be like 3+ minutes for the very start of the show when like we haven't even really met the main characters yet, you know? So that's
Yeah.
how I felt. Sorry, that's like kind of a long rant that I ended up going on, but that's why that's gonna be
Yeah.
my least favorite.
Okay. T. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
Um,
I surprised myself even.
T. Well, mine is kind of going in a different direction. My me is easily Till Death, the Ernest song. Um, which is in Act One, like after it goes forward in time to where Madeline and Ernest are, had been married. Um, that's the only song that I genuinely skip every time. I cannot fucking listen to that song. And it makes me mad because every time I watch it, because I want to reason with Ernest so much because I think the job of having to be like that part is so hard in a musical like this. Like and I think Christopher Siebert does an amazing job. However, I hate the weird voices that he's doing just to like get laughs. In this song specifically. And I mean, it's so evident from the song. I mean, he sings it in the apron of the stage with the curtain closed. I mean, it is a scene change song. He's singing it when they're doing a scene change. And it very much feels like that in a way that other songs don't. Yeah, and I also think like because I know a lot of people who hate the Ernest song in Act Two, The Plan. Um, they just think it's stupid. I really liked it. And I know both of you, after seeing it, liked it as well,
Yeah,
right?
I like Ernest Melville, Surgeon to the Star. Like that's good. Classic cover.
Um, and so
Weren't
I
there
think that
puppets?
moment could be better earned had he not been annoying in the first act. So yeah, I think, and if they wanted to do an earnest kind of interlude, I think they could have done a better job. So that's my answer. And I also forgot to share my Dreamcast. So Sherry Renee is a Dreamcast of mine. We haven't mentioned Laura Benanti, who I think would be an
Mm,
excellent Madeline.
she'd be really, really good.
And I think if she were Madeline, I would love if her Helen would be like Leslie Kritzer.
Yeah, that would be really good. That'd be really good.
So
Love
there.
it.
So perf. Okay, Holy Trinity.
Okay. So our three favorite songs. Okay. My third is hard. I am going to go with the one that I just remember the most, and that is the song Madeline that Helen sings. I think it's so funny. I think the way that Jennifer Samard performs it is hysterical. I think that like creepy melody is really, really funny. I like that we see her kind of hatch this revenge plot. I remember enjoying it so much when I was watching the show. I just think it is so well executed. Uh, it is not doesn't overstay its welcome. It's one of the quicker songs, but it is like one of the most memorable moments of the show for me.
Yeah.
But then my top two are like there's like gaps that like you could fit 200 Grand Canyons in. That is how wide the gap is between anything else and my top two. So my number two is For the Gays. I feel like we already talked about how For the Gays is talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, completely unique, totally not ever been done before, unafraid to reference or not reference. Like For the Gays is just a masterclass in musical theater, writing, performance, blocking, direction, design. It is everything that you want. Megan Hilty come get your Nobel Prize. Like you like just what she does, the way that she does that first for the gays, like the way she sings that is so
I also
funny.
love, yeah, and this got because Levi does like a really good when he laughs really hard, it sounds like Elmo, like especially in a theater.
Screams, it screams.
You, Elmo laughs so hard. She says, I'll go a step beyond and give him grandites. And then like the dancers all do that behind her. But instead of her doing it, she points to the dancers to do it. And
Yes.
it is so funny. And I
Is
know
she in
that she
Liza at that
improved
point?
that. What?
Is she in Liza at that point?
No, she's it was after her first reveal into just another dress.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's just, it's incredible. Like you have to just watch the fucking YouTube. It's so
I
good.
would recommend watching it on Fallon. If you can't find a good bootleg of the show, the Fallon performance was really good. I like it better than the Tony performance just because they have to cut a lot, but
But my number one is a song that is so instrumental to Pop Girlies lore, bonding, the inner dynamics of us, and it is the iconic, the classic, the celebrated. I mean, people were singing the songs at weddings, at funerals, at graduations. Tell Me Ernest. Tell
Yup.
Me Ernest is musical theater writing perfection. First of all, that guitar riff is so fucking good.
It's like Jackson 5
It
jam.
literally is. Oh my, it's wood.
It's wood.
Ta Death Becomes Her
Taylor
Broadway
heard Tell Me
through
Ernest and
Taylor's
said, let's
ass.
make history.
Uh, the structure of the jokes of like, well, first of all, the situation is just so funny of like Madeline trying to seduce her like kind of best friend's fiance, and then Helen like knowing what's
Because he's a
happening,
plastic surgeon.
Ernest not knowing what's happening, and like the joke of like Madeline initiating this like conversation and like having it be incredibly suggestive. And it's like, how much have you seen of me cinematically? Like, that is so, what would you do to me medically? Like, it's so funny. And like that melody is just so good. The performances are all so, so good. But like we have to, like the one that we talk about the most is, now tell me, Ernest, how's Helen in the sack? Just curious. I mean, I've known this girl for 20 years.
But he
Never
isn't
ever
never
have
have
I
I
heard her
ever heard
make
her make it.
oh,
Oh, oh, oh, oh.
lighten up, Ernest. Uh-oh, she's furious. And it's so good.
It
So
is.
after the show, Levi and I were singing this like nonstop, and our Uber canceled on us. So we like our Uber pulls around the block, probably saw us singing this, and then canceled.
We were
Our
like the last people waiting for an Uber.
and we were singing "Tell Me Ernest" the entire
But
time.
I don't really think we knew the words, so I think we were just singing because
We were
that
going da
part
da 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 da.
because
Da.
that part had been released in like a video clip. And so like
Yes.
I had already known
Yes.
that part going in.
And I mean the reveal into the cheetah.
Into the cheetah dress that matches the cat. It's so good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's perfection.
I have to say, Megan did. I watched so many interviews, and Megan said the funniest story about that costume. So in the show, she reveals from a coat to this cheetah jumpsuit that exactly matches a couch that she lays on.
It's
And
so
she
funny.
said
It
she
was so
was in an
funny.
early costume fitting when they were rehearsing, and she was trying on the outfit. And then they showed her, or like tried on like a version of the outfit, and then they showed her the swatches of the cheetah print, and she goes, "No, no, dang it, you can't because that cheetah matches." And then she like stopped and goes, "Oh, never mind. I
Oh, she like didn't get that that was the joke.
yeah,
That's funny. No, that it's such a good visual gag.
It's so funny.
yeah, yeah."
And Jennifer Samard is a really underappreciated part of that song, but she's being really funny in that song too. But I gotta go. I mean,
It's
it's
a song,
so.
but we gotta go.
I love how's next week? How's next year? It's so good.
It's amazing.
Oh, tell
Okay,
me,
tell me
Ernest.
Ernest. Tell me Ernest. Pop Girlies history.
Okay,
That's the song that's
Marita.
playing constantly in the Pop Girlies bathrooms at the stadium.
Yes.
It's just an endless
Pop
loop of
Girlies
Tell Me
elevator
Ernest.
music
It
is
is the
Tell Me
Pop
Ernest.
Girlies elevator music. Okay, Maria.
Okay. So my Holy Trinity, my number three is Let's Run Away Together.
Mm,
Because I think that one is so funny. Their like little banter back and forth is hilarious, and Jennifer Smart is just so funny in it. And I love in between like every chorus and verse when she picks up her dress, and goes la 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 la.
She is unhinged.
She is crazy. It's so
I mean,
funny.
I
So
texted the group chat this afternoon. Like, did she do like a line of coke before every single like
Literally.
recording session? The song that
literally
made me think that was the confrontation. Like, she is
Yeah.
being so crazy.
so insane.
Um, that I love the part where she goes, I don't like that word, Ernest, in the recording. Like
Oh
she
yeah. Oh, it's so funny. So yeah, that one I had so much fun watching that part. Same with my number two, which may or may not be a hot take that it's so high in my ranking, but I really liked the plan. Like I really liked the Ernest song. And
I
while
like the plan. I love the plan.
like I had a blast while we were watching it. And I just thought it was so funny because it's like the show is so big and grand and everything is huge. And I appreciated the like really toned down moment of just like a tiny little set and it's just Ernest's song and he progressively gets more drunk throughout the song. And I think it's funny too how much like how like the motif of that song, like you said, Levi, is the Ernest, surgeon to the stars, and he like repeats his own name so much. And the whole gag of his name is that his name is Ernest, but he very quickly in the show loses his moral backbone completely.
Like a dramaturg.
Right. But it's just like like his entire character is just so funny because like he instantly cancels himself out because he lets himself get bossed around by these two ladies. And I just thought like I appreciated the just like very like candid slapstick comedy moment of like, well, I'm gonna have to fix these two somehow, and he's just getting drunk and drunk and drunk. So I liked that song. I liked it quite a bit. And then of course, my number one, same reasons that American Life was my number one on American Life, is because this is Pop Girlies history, is Tell Me Ernest.
I mean, it's history. Like, it's history.
It's
It's
in
actually a
history books.
historical document. Declaration of Independence. This is our version of that.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So, yeah, I mean, it was locked in from the second we sat down in the theater to see it, honestly. It was Pop Girlies history.
Well, yeah, because I don't remember. Did I see it with Levi first or Maria first? I don't remember, but
I
it
think
was
you saw it with
more when
Levi
we,
I
first.
think it might have been me first because I think
Yeah.
you'd seen it first with your mom, and then I think it might have been
yeah,
me, and then I think it was Maria.
yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
and at that point, probably Drew and I were spamming the group chat with, "Now tell me, Ern." Like, I think we were sending like audio messages to each other.
No, but we definitely did. And I think we were also sending audio messages when we still didn't know the words.
Yeah,
Like,
didn't know the
we
words.
were sending audio messages going,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
It's so good.
because we would just go, just curious.
Well, and then we also loved that the dramedies, but I don't think we like really knew what like the first movies were. So we're like the rom, the da da, the dramedies.
And on the recording, she does it so
He
good.
does it so good on the recording.
Oh, she's everything. Okay, that's a great top three.
Yay.
So
I was like really
I didn't
nervous
get
that
a
my opinions were gonna be like completely rotted.
I didn't get a
Three
great top three. Why don't
is
my is my top three not good?
No, you're
no, your
I
top
think
three
we
is
all sing.
amazing.
Okay, well, thank you. I like words of affirmation. I wanted to be affirmed too.
Um, wait, sorry. I think I lost you guys for a second. Okay, we're
Oh
back. We're
no, we're
back. We're back.
good. Girl, give us that top
No,
three.
Levi's top three is amazing as well, obviously.
Thank
I
you.
mean, okay, my number three is the Tell Me Ernest reprise.
Just can't get
Um,
enough.
You kind of scared me for a second. I was like, huh.
yeah. Or the yeah, the
Yeah.
joke that I mentioned. I mean, come on. I mean, it's
You
and
can't
the way
say it.
she sounds, it's just amazing. And then my number two is Let's Run Away Together. I think that
Yes.
song is fucking hysterical. Um, yeah, everything about it is just so she like really gets demented um in that song in a way that she wasn't when during the Madeline song. It's like she's demented in a way where she's like like giving like a stand-up presentation or
No,
something.
she's crazy in that song.
It's insane.
But yeah, she's incredible. And then my number one will tell me Ernest. How's Helen in the sack?
Just curious.
Just curious.
It's oh, she's furious kind of changed lives.
Uh-oh, she's furious.
It's the way she says it. It's so funny.
Oh, I love Death Becomes Her. Okay, okay. Okay, utensil time.
Okay, utensil time. Come on, hose.
I'm gonna go in at a 9.
Drew Fork 9. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like there's obviously like huge mountain highs, but I feel like it's a 9 for me.
9. Maria Spoon.
T. Well, I'm gonna go in at a 7.7. This isn't like musical theater Mount Rushmore for me. And I think there's some like musical motifs that like really blend together. So some of the songs from like a musical theater novice brain like kind of like mush together a little bit. So there's like some songs as I listen back that I like have a hard time like just like keeping separate from one another. But like you said, the high highs are high highs. And it's an incredible theater experience. And love it.
Gag it.
I am coming in at an 8. I think if I was rating seeing it, it would be like a 9.5. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like what I was talking about. I think the just recording in isolation just doesn't have the same punch as seeing it does.
Yeah.
I literally love that Drew highlighted how great those book scenes are because the book is so funny and it like
Yeah.
plays so beautifully with the score. But kind of like I said, there are some melodies that don't really stick for me, but I think the lyrics are great, the performances are great, and like there are some yeah, I'm kind of gagged that I was the only person with For the Gays in their top 3.
I know, I was kind of gagged too. It would be my number 4, but
Like I was kind of like, okay, so we don't respect LGBTQ history. Like, okay, like I guess I'm the only one that,
but
is an
tell me Ernest when
ally.
you think about it is like the gayest song to ever exist.
Right. Well, they were singing that at Stonewall. They were
Yeah.
they were humming Tell Me Ernest.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. No,
No,
nobody died.
tell me Ernest.
No one died.
Nobody was killed.
There's also a really funny the bootleg that's on YouTube right now. If you search within the next like week before it gets taken down, um, she messes up. Tell me, Ernest. She messes up. She says, "Do you have time to Tuesday?" She like messes up and then starts laughing. And it's really funny.
No
So
offense. If she messed up my Tell Me Ernest, I would go to the box office and demand a refund. Be like, I can't. Get me
You
tickets
stand
to
up,
the
you
show.
you stand up from your chair and go, take it from the top
Do like a reverse Patty
again.
LaPone cell phone thing.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
That is,
Megan Hilty
I
is
would be
just
really
so good.
pissed though because Tell Me Ernest is the show, and it is like what the fourth song.
It's also like so funny, like there are spectacle scenes, and our easily our number one song is like a patter conversation
It
scene
is. It's a
song.
patter. I love patter song though. I give me patter all day long, ho.
I've known this girl for 20 years and never have I ever heard her
It's
make it.
it's so good.
If this doesn't
Spencer,
prompt you to immediately go listen to Tell Me Ernest, I don't know what
No,
else to do.
watch it. Like watch the clip that they
Yes.
released. Watch so
please.
you could see the seeds of what started this obsession.
We should all
Yeah,
get
there is
tattoos.
an official video on the Death Becomes Her YouTube page of Tell Me Ernest. So watch that.
Ho.
Okay,
Okay.
T, well, we became death.
We
Yes.
became her. Thank you, Drew.
Thank you, Drew.
Yay!
So, Maria, where are we going next week?
Yes. So next week we are starting the discography of a major artist who we have been talking about for a bit. Levi and I have shared some hot tracks over the last couple weeks that are by this artist, and it's just about to be so tea. I can't even stand it. And we're gonna be doing Debut by Bjork. We're doing Bjork's first album,
All
and
of Iceland will be tuning in.
everyone's tuning in. Everyone's gonna be clapping as soon as the episode drops. Everyone's gonna wake up and start listening because it's just that important. And like thinking about the concept of Venus as a boy is going to be insane. So everyone buckle up.
This has to be like the gayest like hour and change of content ever recorded.
This episode,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I don't even know if this is our gayest episode. I mean, I think the American Life one is kind of hard to beat.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Chromatica.
you said it yourself in the American Life episode that the way I was talking about American Life was like I was giving a speech at a wedding. Like that was how insane and potent the American Life psychosis is. It
The
was
psycho,
and
it's
still
so
is.
real.
It
It's
was it
so real.
like like I don't
No,
think
there
you guys
it
get
like
it.
takes over your body. I haven't listened to it in like a month. I probably need to like go to the hospital. Like I'm
Yeah.
actually feeling withdrawals.
Like I need an IV.
I need an IV full of my
Soy
soy
latte, double
latte.
latte.
That's my dose of my of love perfusion. I get it. IV.
All
So
right.
with
It's been
that being
fun, but we gotta go.
this is fun, but we gotta go. So yes, next week we're doing Debut by
Oh my
Bjork. So everyone get
God.
excited.
All right.
Oh, okay, I gotta go run away together.
Together. He.
Yeah.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh.
Oh.
I gotta go want perfection.
Oh, that was really good.
Ooh, nice.
Bye,
Good
Shanti.
one.
Bye.